Yeah, you're welcome back to 3,000 miles. Today, we've also walked 3,000 miles to from being a recorded program to the first edition of our live program. And to all those that have been sticking with us all the way down from the studio, the school studio down to Jambo Radio, I want to say that this feat is for all of us right now. And today it's a beautiful afternoon, and I've got interesting guests in the building. They're my brothers, and we have an interesting topic to divulge in today. But before then, my name is Dimeji Sodeke. Today, Kay is not going to be in the studio. He's traveled. And so that makes it, we are four all together in the studio right now. So what's today's topic? Before I go into that, Chelsea fans, Manchester United fans, Liverpool fans, I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. And to those that need consolation, I think this program should be a distraction for you. And Arsenal fan, I know you guys are on top of your league, and that's a very cool one. So today's topic is work ethics, and I'm going to introduce my brothers. Should I start from the right or left? I don't know. Let me start from the right. So Bryan, I've got Bryan in the building. I call him the Jambo finest brother, Yeah, Bryan is here today. We've got another brother also, Lekan. How you doing, brother?
I'm alright. Thanks for having me.
And to my own brother also, Karo, the one I call Ogene Karo. Salute. Yeah. Today's topic just sounds work ethics. You guys can join us. You can stream this live, and you can call in also to contribute. It's so welcome. And work ethics in the UK. So let me start with you, Bryan. I'll throw this open, but I want you to, kick off with this conversation. Let's compare the professionalism here in the UK versus Nigeria. Speaking about work ethics, what would you say about the professionalism here compared to Nigeria?
Well, it depends on the kind of job we're speaking about. With here in the UK, there are a variety of jobs you can do that are well paying and that will pay your bills, whereas in Nigeria, you've got to do a certain kind of job to stand a chance to make a good living. But if we're going to strictly talk about professionalities and just like highly professional jobs, then I'll say there are major differences. Obviously, one is you get paid more, so that helps. Another is the way you need to conduct yourself is completely different from how you'd conduct yourself back home. There's more need to be professional in the sense of you're not going to get away with it. Like, you have to have the right personality in workspace, whereas in Nigeria you can always get away with it because they understand your culture. So you have to have a mental assent of the different cultural backgrounds from where you're coming from and where you are here, and be able to adapt. But I mean, if you're professional and if you go about doing things the right way, then you should be fine. If you can hear the Scottish accent, that is.
Okay. Lekan, let me save you for the last, because I know we want to. The reason why I'm saying that is because Lekan has also worked in the UAE, that's Dubai. So he's going to give us some sort of three comparison right now. So to you, Karo, let's talk about punctuality, this discharge of duties. Compare this professionalism here in the UK to Nigeria.
Yeah, when you look at both scenarios, there are obviously two sides of the coin. Back home in Nigeria, you, like my friend here said, you get away with a lot of stuff. So you can get to work by 10 o'clock when you're meant to resume by 8, and you give your boss a flimsy excuse and he lets it go. But here, no, that won't work.
It will reflect on your pay.
If it keeps happening, you might get suspended or worse. So you have to always be on your toes. If it's 8 o'clock, you have to be there like 20 minutes before 8, so you could settle down. And
what about discharge of duties? What do you think about that?
Yeah, here I notice that they work like it's their own. They don't take it like I'm getting paid or something. Like the way they do it in Nigeria, like you just leave it for your boss. You do it anyhow you want. No, it doesn't work like that here. You have to work with your heart. So I think.
Okay, now Lekan, we want to hear you. You have 3 experiences to share with us. What is the level of professionalism you've experienced so far?
Oh well, actually I've worked in like 4 or 5 countries to be precise.
Oh, sorry, I'm wrong. Sorry, my bad.
That's okay. Because I once worked in South Africa, I used to live in Ivory Coast also. Before I finally moved to Dubai, where I spent a couple of years. I spent like 5-6 years working in Dubai, and I've actually never worked in Nigeria. So, but I've had a lot of friends that worked back home, and I do hear a lot of stories. But for real, I'll actually say you can compare the UK to all these countries. Fine, Dubai also is coming up, but when you look at the work ethics, comparing Nigeria, South Africa, UAE, and the UK, it's quite different. In the UAE, you work your ass off, man. That's what I can say.
You work your ass off.
You work your ass off, and literally you work longer hours. And
yeah, speaking about working hours, what's now, guys? What can we say about the working hours here? Is it some sort of considerable on the path of humanity? And compared to Nigeria, let's compare the working hours.
For here, I would say they value human life a lot because sometimes when I go to work, when I tell people, okay, I work so days here in Scotland, I work so days also, so hours in a day. The next thing Scottish people will tell me, man, that's illegal. You want to kill yourself? I said, well, I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Because they expect you to work only 3-4 days in a week.
Yeah, exactly.
To where we're coming from.
5 days a week, your weekend.
Some people even work 7. 7 or 7.
Yeah, I think that culture, now bringing it down here, it has a way they look at you. They feel you're selfish, you are inhumane, you don't spend time with your family, you don't enjoy things about life. So do you really think such culture, this is a digression now, do you really think there is a wrong side to this culture? Or we are right, or there is a laziness part? Because I've heard from both sides, like we feel they are lazy, they don't want to make money. So what do you really think about this? Let's balance this antithesis. To you, Bryan.
Well, there definitely is a cultural aspect to it, because when you come from, if you were born here, you come from a society with optimal welfare, where you'll be taken care of if something goes wrong, right? You come from a society where if you're educated, you're qualified, you get the job. Back home there's a stark difference. So you have to work twice as hard to have a bare minimum life. So there is that notion in your mind that you have to hustle, you have to work on the weekends. Your boss expects you to put the extra work hours. By the way, the extra unpaid work hours back home, because if you don't, someone else will do it and get paid the same amount of money you're being paid. So there is that idea of, I can't do bare minimum. And then when you take that mentality here, where they have an understanding where if I do the things I'm supposed to do, I'll get my paycheck. I'll get my paycheck. If something happens, the government will take care of me. And they see someone like you just working your ass out. You're almost looked at as, why are you doing this? Like, why don't you have a social life? Why don't you enjoy the things that people should enjoy in life? It was here. It was in the UK that I came here and they're like, nah, for 1 month I didn't work. I was on vacation. I'm like, okay, you took not 1 week, not 2 weeks, not 3 weeks, you took 4 weeks off work because you wanted to go on vacation. Whereas in Nigeria, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
What Karo, I wanted to say something
that doesn't happen. So there is
this stuff on ground,
It goes both ways. Honestly, coming from Nigeria, everybody has a plan when they get here. The major thing, everybody said, I need to make money. So you need to work more than the minimum if you really want the good things of life, if you want to enjoy your life, if you want to go on vacations, if you want to have solid night out with your friends, you have to work your ass off. So it's just cultural difference. It's what they see versus what we see. So yeah, that's what I think.
Let me just
okay.
About you mentioned something that from your own perspective, you hear people say they're lazy.
Yeah.
Hard work.
Yes.
But if you look at it from this angle, working bare 3-4 days, it pays your bill here. Makes you live a good life. Because what I notice about them is from where we're coming from, we blacks, or let me say Nigerians, we want to have everything. We want to make ourselves happy. We're still thinking about people back home. We just want to have everything. But here, they don't.
No, wait. There are two things now. You want to have everything. You have people back home. That's responsibility.
Yeah.
So let's separate wants from responsibility.
And what I'm trying to say now is, damn, look, look at Scottish. I can say Scottish, English, Americans. They go on vacations. You just see them with their only laptop bag or maybe just simple backpack. Meanwhile, if you see where we're coming from, they're going on vacation. You see Ghana must go. They're packing everything. You see people going back to Nigeria like, okay, you're here. You just have to, because from my own thinking, do you understand? I feel like since you're here, you should just make yourself happy here. Because people back home, we've had a lot of stories. People back home, they're doing even more better than you here. And they'll still calling you every day that, okay, man, you need to send something to us, you need to send something to us. I mean, when you're here, you're starving, you're working your ass off, working 6-7 days in a week, which is not meant to be so.
Well, that's another angle to see that from. And I really think you have a valid point. Everybody has been dropping valid points now, which will move us to the next question, work anticipation. Now, let me divulge this very well. New immigrants believe there's a saying that when you go work, now easy work, Joe. So as such, because there's unemployment back at home, you want to come here and come and wash all the Glasgow streets and I need to make that money. So now let's talk about the work rate. Yeah, that anticipation in new immigrant because of the pay rates compared to the currency we have at home and everything. What would you have to say to them? Karo, let's start with you from that.
Like he said just now, a lot of people have responsibilities, but personally, I take it each day as it comes. Because when I came here as first, I had that same feeling that I could make all the money I want in the world, but it takes a toll on you mentally. You wouldn't know. Physically too, it might do a lot to you, but mentally it takes a lot because you're getting withdrawn from the society. You don't communicate well with people. You're lonely. You're just working. You're getting the money, obviously, but it will take a toll on you on the long run. And because we are social animals, we're social beings, and we need ourselves. Just sometimes you really need to talk to people. You need good laughs, and all those things that cannot be reduced to the figures alone. I think you have. So what would you say to new immigrants coming, Lekan, that they feel, yes, I want to go and work. I want to face my life. I want to make all the money. I must finish my father's compound within 3 months. I must, all the stuff. What would you have to say to them?
Like my boy Karo said, it takes a toll on you. When I first came in here also, even despite the fact that I've lived in different countries before, because the way they have the UK, so when I came there I was like, oh no, I need to make all this money, converting the pound sterling to
I need to impress them in my father's compound, let them know that I don't arrive.
Exactly. So you literally be working, everything you see, everywhere you see, the people tell you there's work there, you go there, no time to rest, no time to, but as time goes on, you later realize, okay, you're making this money, no time, you're not enjoying yourself. Like, let's give, for example, you're in the health sector now, you go to hospitals, you go to all these care homes, you see older people, do you understand? They can barely move their legs, they can barely move their hands, they can't do anything again. So you'll be like, okay.
You get to this point at the time. And so what is the need for a life where you reduce everything to just the figures and stuff? So I think that really actually play in my mind.
Yeah, so why not just make the money, find time for yourself and enjoy life too. Look at this our age now, any fucking thing can happen anytime. Nobody knows when anybody's gonna die. And
Bryan, I wouldn't know your position on this, but you would want to agree with me that there is the need for your advice to the new immigrants. Would you advise them to find a striking balance between work and pleasure, or what would you advise to a brother now that is gymming and his arm is big as yours now, saying, I'm strong, I'm ready to take all the work, factory Monday, hospital Tuesday, and everything? What would you have to say to such an immigrant?
Well, when you're making the transition from Nigeria to the UK, you understand that you're already 10 steps behind. That's a fact, right? If you didn't come from rich home, if you're the average Nigerian who hustled to get the tickets, whatever avenue you want to use to come in here, you understand that you're already behind. And so I understand that mentality of we've got to catch up. right? There's that feeling of I'm 25, I don't have a penny. Like all I have is whatever amount. I have to catch up and at least get to a minimum level where I can look at myself and say, okay,
I've tried.
I can take care of myself. I can take care of my family. I can do one or two things comfortably. So that is not a bad thing. Let's put that right. That is a good thing. That's a sense of responsibility. If you have family, if you have brothers, you want to do that. Now, after, I think the most important thing is you have a set goal of, okay, what does comfort look like for you? Right? What is that level? Okay, I want to earn 3K a month. Is that it for you? Is that when you would calm down and enjoy your life?
But why taking such responsibility? Just like Karo and Lekan said, why taking such responsibility? If you are not careful, you could just realize that you have no friends, you have no social life, your social life is zero, you don't even drink, you don't party, all you just set for yourself is targets of figures and everything.
Yeah,
do you really still
buy into that? I think it's important. Okay, like I said, if you're if you're 28, right, you don't have a penny to your name, trust me, you don't need social friend, you need to be financially stable. That's important. Now, you're asking me a question from people who are just coming in. Now, if you're doing that for 5 years, there's a problem. But if you say, okay, for the first 6-7 months, I want to kill myself with work, I will neglect social circles, but I need to sort this out. Good. That's honorable.
Good. I was expecting that. The duration.
Yeah.
Because, trust me, nobody can feel comfortable in a prison. And, you can actually be in a prison walking free in the street. I hope you know there's a prison of the mind and stuff. So nobody feels comfortable in the prison. So that's the mindset you don't really want to get into and get trapped. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, there's a Jambo Radio 3000 Miles is your favorite program on. Today, I would say congratulations to us all. We're live. Yes, you can watch us right now. You can call in to the studio. You can join us and download our app via the iOS and the Android. I've got interesting guests in the building. The topic today is work ethics in the UK versus Nigeria. I've got Lekan, Karo, and Bryan in the building. It's still me, my humble self, Dimeji Sodeke, and I've got the beautiful Zena producing us as usual. So let's go to the next question before we have our break. To move to our break. Survival history. I was listening to Hillbillies recently. Oga Boss was saying he came to the UK at some point in time. He worked from warehouse. He washed dishes. You hear people like Pastor Tunde Bakare, these guys, Awolowo, all these great guys that we actually look forward to now. They've at one point in their life come here and they've done all these menial jobs. And you still have some people right now that they still do it. There was one guy revealing that Techno didn't release any song. All this while he went to America. He's working in warehouse. Olu maintain now. All of them have a way they maintain. You don't know what they do. They just come. They come to the Instagram when they can afford. You just see that. But now the question is survival history. We have some people who feels, I'm a bank manager in Nigeria. I'll never wash plates. It's either I work in the bank or I work in the radio station like Zeno. That or death. So survival history versus what pays the bill. No, let's be realistic now. So Lekan, let's start with you. And you give us your own survival story too. Your survival story, if you have one, you get. So yeah.
Yes, everybody does. Everybody does that. But let me just start from people coming from Nigeria, because just last week I had a brother friend like that. He actually called me that he was planning to move to the UK, and he's actually a bank manager. Wow. Seriously. And he was like, can he get a bank job in the UK? Can he do this? I was like,
I like the wait for you.
I was like, bro, what the fuck? You're a bank manager. You come to the UK, man, you just have to take whatever shit comes your way first.
First, I like that.
Exactly. You have to take whatever comes your way first, because here is not like Nigeria that NEPA no bring lights and we go hunch and
we will not pay bills.
Exactly. Here you don't pay your bills, you don't pay your house rent, you are out.
And you can't be out because it's cold. Exactly. Now yet my saying it's cold outside. It's really cold outside.
You understand what I'm saying? So you just have to take whatever comes your way. Because I remember, let me give you an example. I remember when I was in South Africa, I had nobody. Even that time before I left Nigeria, my parents actually didn't want me to leave. I was like, no, I'm a man. I need to hustle for myself. And I slept on the street for almost 1 week.
Wow.
exactly, before I finally get something doing.
Wow.
I know a lot of people cannot do it. Even here in the UK, I've had a brother like that. I was actually sleeping in the bus station.
Wow.
For like a month. He was living in, I think, Aberdeen. And we all hear stories that Aberdeen is dry, something.
Yeah, definitely.
He had to come down to Glasgow to work. He got something doing, and he was like nowhere to sleep. You understand? So that's also what I normally tell people. When you come here, just take whatever comes your way first, just to survive. That's it.
Okay, I apologize for any rated comment that has come out, any swearing. I apologize for that. So, Karo, to you, let's hear about your survival history. You know, sometimes people feel like I've got a soft life. I've got things going on for me in Nigeria. Oh, it's just like this formal saying: I'd rather be a king in hell rather than be a slave in heaven. Do you really think that's a reality here in the UK?
Well, to start from the original question you asked, when you're coming into the UK, anything you have to drop it at the door. You drop it from Heathrow. When you get to Heathrow, you drop it from there because it's a different world altogether. I've had my own fair share of life here. I won't say I've hustled all my life. I'm pretty much, I would not say privileged, but pretty much privileged. But when I got
you actually privileged. Your dad is a beanie.
No, I'm not privileged. But when I got here, I had to work in the warehouse. The shift was starting at 2 a.m. in the morning to close by 11 in the morning. You have to get there before 2. The last bus from Buchanan leaves at about 11 p.m. So how do you do it? If you leave by 11, you get to the warehouse by 12. You sit down there till 2 a.m. before the shift starts. Wow. Now you work till 11 in the morning.
Mentally, you're already
messed up. Because when you get back home, your day is gone. Once you close your eyes, you open your eyes, it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
And you're back to the warehouse again. So it's more like, Jesus.
So that you lose it takes a toll on you mentally. I'm stressing on that mentally. It's not all about your body, but your mind. Your mind is what makes you go the extra mile. So if your mind is gone, you're gone. But you just have to balance it up. That's all I'm saying. Yeah,
to you, Bryan, we want to listen to, because that your voice sounds more like you've not struggled really. You've not had, so convince me that I'm right, please.
Well, you said it's better to be a king in hell than a slave in heaven. Well, the UK is nothing like heaven. Let's just get that right. I think there's this mentality that
please, you have to say that very loud so that people at home will understand. The UK is nothing like heaven. You had him.
Absolutely not. However, there is a sense of you longing to have greener pasture, which is sensible if you're smart, which I respect. But when you're making that transition and you already have a mentality of, okay, where I am is terrible, right? If you're, okay, let me use this example. He said his friend was coming as a bank manager. Now, my question, if you're comfortable in Nigeria, why are you moving, right? You're moving for a reason, right? You're moving because maybe you want a better state of life and all that kind of thing. So if you have that mentality of, hey, I'm moving for X, Y reason, then why wouldn't you have to do things to pay your bills? It's important. Like, you have to be maybe the bank manager for maybe like an MD for CBN to come and work here and be a bank manager. Like, that's the chances of that happening is very slim. Like, you have to do. There
is also something coming from my hand. Nobody begged you to come here.
Exactly.
It wasn't like the Queen came to your house and said, we need you in the UK. You took your money, debited yourself. Yes. You debited yourself that I want to be here. So once you are here, I really believe you just have to. I really believe you have to find a way to try as much as possible to, maneuver things to work. Right. I remember Lekan and I we once worked in the factory. Yeah. Man, that factory was dead. I remember one night. That night was the night I regretted ever coming to the UK. That I was like, I want to go back. I couldn't take off my clothes when I got home. To lie down, I was shouting because my back, as it was going back, was saying, I slept with all my old, man, you could remember those days. It was killing. Yeah. You sleep in the bus. The bus driver will be the one to wake you up. Now, guys, go home. Man.
Can I ask you a question though? Isn't it worth it for you? Because let's get the facts straight. The people who are making this transition believe that is worth it for them. They believe what they have in Nigeria is not compared to what they can gain here.
Definitely.
So in that regard, you're not going to do the warehouse job forever. If you want to do it forever, you have a problem because you like suffering. You shouldn't. If you do it for 7 months, you earn enough money, you can do something else.
You know, I have a quote, and it's due to my survival experience so far in life generally. I have a quote that pray that the heavens set fire under your feet. You know why? You wouldn't like the experience. You will scream, you will complain. As a matter of fact, you might even fight with God. But the moment that fire is off and your leg is cool, and you look back, you look at the distance you've covered and the people you've left behind, you would imagine, like, wow, if not for that fire, you wouldn't have gone this way.
Makes sense.
So yeah, that's my personal code, though. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, for now we have to take a musical break. And this guy that's coming on board is my childhood friend. I think I need to put this online live because I'm gonna tag his brother, though. Yeah. For the record, if you're just joining us, this is 3,000 Miles, and we've been diverging into an interesting topic that is titled work ethics. Yeah, we'll go on a musical break. This guy is my childhood friend. I'm going to tell you a story about Toby Anidugbe. When I come back, I'm sure Foluto and Macaulay should show him this. Yes, it's a story that involved me, Macaulay, and Foluto. That was in 2000, and I don't know, but for now, this is my best song ever from Toby because it reminds me of the ghetto life. Yeah, and it's titled Ghetto. Cheers. Yeah, you're welcome back. 3,000 Miles. That's a good one from Toby Anidugbe. It's a sin if I call him Kiss Daniel. I'll call him Toby Anidugbe. And I promise you that I'm going to tell you a story that involved Toby, me, Foluto, and Macaulay. And so I remember in 2000, I think it's around 2009 or 10. So these guys, they've collated, they wanted to do this event called Miss Olumo. The Anidugbe's dad, Kiss Daniel, was the manager of Olumorok then. So yeah, they had their way. So they staged the events and everything. So I'm this kind of guy that I'm always funny with my brothers. So Toby actually pretty like me. I always go to their house, you know, which we have a good chilling time together. So I don't know how Toby convinced me that I could be the next movie. So I should come on stage as the comedian, Jesus Christ. So one way or the other, because I was funny in the parlor, I'm the kind of guy that, you know, I talk a lot and I talk some things that you make you laugh. So I decided to also to give that my career, to give that a choice. Then we wait for that program that night. I remember very well. I climbed on the stage, and it was a disaster. Nobody laughed. Toby, you and Foluto, you were laughing, holding your stomach, and Macaulay. That was the boring part. The interesting part was that when those ladies, the contestant and everybody went up, we couldn't sleep in an hotel room, so we sleep at the lounge. Kiss Daniel slept like this, Foluto slept, I slept. I couldn't sleep. I had a bad night. They had a very good night. So I had the worst. That was my worst MIC in my life. So I remember those ladies came down. Those guys were sleeping, snoring. I mean, I couldn't sleep. I was too ashamed. Then one of them said, I think Foluto is actually cuter than his brother. Because, of course, then everybody agreed that Foluto is cuter than Kiss Daniel. And I was just listening. To me, I was like, God, open the ground and swallow me once and for all. And one of the girls said, that's the idiot that thinks he's funny. Toby, Macaulay, and Foluto, Eledamia for you. So I know that's for a joke, and I'm so proud of the fact that Toby actually made it out of the ghetto. And I remember when he signed with GWW, I think he took me down to my house. He was all smiling and shouting, Dini, they don't sign me, and everything. Look how far you've gone, brother. I'm so happy for you. I know I'm going to drag you to the studio someday, but for now, I think I'm just giving you a shout out. Yeah, let's continue on today's program. I'm going to share that on my Instagram, though, and tag them. So, back to this program, work ethics, 3,000 miles. We've actually walked 3,000 miles, and congratulations to us. And thanks to Zainab that has never let my hand go 1 second. all this mile. And I want to give a shout out to K, wherever he is. He's supposed to be in the studio with me, my co-host, but K is on vacation right now. Just like what we're saying, we need that mental balance. K needed to escape from the Zainab and Serena, go to England, and yeah, on and on. So yeah, the next question is breaks at work and the workload. I remember personally, I was telling Karo that I remember I worked in a department in the hospital lately, and there was no sitting, there was no break, no sensible break, and my leg was really aching. I needed to go to the store. I sat down on the floor. I was pressing my phone, so I used down my leg to block the door in case anybody wants to enter. First attempt, I would have stood up and my leg would have blocked you. Second, I'll be pretending as if I'm looking for something. Oh, sorry, I hit you. You hit me. Oh, go back. I want to sit down back on the floor. So let's talk about breaks, and let's talk about how the workload and the need for break. Sometimes in Nigeria, I really think flexing is the work. We don't really take break time serious, but what does break look like here and the workload? So let's start from you, Mr. Bryan.
Short answer is very different. So I remember working back home I was working in a startup as a software developer, and a lot of the time, like when you can go on break whenever you like. You can go eat something. You can stop and talk about football, and then stop and go and eat, and then stop and do this. Whereas I maybe the type of job I was doing influenced that, but here, if you're, let's say, working in retail, right, you're going to stand, like your legs will shake, like your legs will be quaking, like no jokes. And when you get breaks, sometimes, depending on your contract, you don't even get paid for your break. So the break you're taking, like the 30 minutes is off your payroll. Like nobody's paying you for the 30 minutes break you're taking, which I found that as weird. Because how will someone take a break while working for you and it's not an unpaid break? So there is that as well. So believe me, when they say, I think because here the mentality is when you're working, like you're giving it your all. That's why they find it difficult to understand how you would work for that long, because working is not, you can work and chill. Like, bro, if you're doing a 10-hour shift, I can guarantee you're giving 10 hours of your life, like
to that work.
To that work.
So Karo, what do you think about break and what Bryan has just said?
Well, I've not really had the opportunity to work back home in Nigeria, so this is like my first time working.
Of course, we know.
So
I was saying it the other time. Your dad is a Billy. You're avoiding it.
No, don't do that.
They can't kidnap you. You're in the UK, bro.
Don't do that. So coming here, it all depends on who you're working with. You can go to a place, they give you 2 hours break. You can go back to the same place the next day, they give you 1 hour break. So it all depends on who you're working with and how you can relate closely with the person. The set out time might be 1 hour. But if you have like a good rapport with the person who is in charge of the break, you can get more. So, like Bryan said, if you're going to work for 10 hours, you're working for every penny. They will use you for that 10 hours.
Of course.
And but it's not so bad because it will help you. Like during work and all, to just take a little bit.
Now, to you, Lekan, do you now, would you agree with me? Because sometimes back at home, we have difficulty with our boss who have lived in the UK and they come and tell you, they are the ones that will come in and will hate and say, this boss is too harsh and everything. You can't be sitting down, be talking, go back to the office and everything. Now, I can understand from the perspective because I wouldn't start a business in Nigeria and you bring cooler. The first you design the table and see this kitchen, which I went and I'll flex for everybody. In fact, I can sack you. So, what do you think about breaks? The reason why I'm asking you that about discipline as well, maintaining that professionalism that we're seeing here. So, what do you think about all that? Do you really think there are things that?
Like I said earlier, I haven't really had the opportunity of working back home in Nigeria, but if you look at how the system here, how it works here, they never take their breaks serious. They never take it lightly. Do you understand? They always want to go for break. And that break, it's because nobody's paying you for it. I've gone to some places, they take breaks and they just go like 1 hour, 2 hours and they come back. So for me also, anywhere I go, like Karo said earlier, it depends on your relationship with whoever you're working with. That's at the moment. It might be an hour break, and they might decide, okay, it's midnight, because obviously we know we like working overnight. So they might say, okay, go on 2 hours break. Do you understand? So for me, when they give me that break, man, I'll just lie down and sleep, set my alarm.
Yeah, my sister told me that thing. Said, "Guy,
I've worked in a place they gave me 4 hours. I was like, what?
4 hours sleep. I got a big shift for there. I could just go there sleep or
but definitely you can't compare working in hospital with
factory or whatever.
In the care room. So
even in care home, see, I've worked in one care home that I feel that the residents almost called us to come and sleep in their room. We were sleeping on the rug. In fact, it seems as if it was the resident watching over us, not. So yeah, I think some care homes too are lenient, because eventually everybody is coming to realize the fact that we are dealing with human beings here.
Yeah.
They are sleeping, so why? And we've done all our jobs, so why are we taking life so hard on ourselves? Yeah, I think that is it for the break. Let's move. But before then, I remember my pastor told me, that was Pastor Adeshino told me one time he also worked in the care home and he had to run to the toilet. He closed the lid and he slept in the toilet. They were looking for him and everything. I think people use that scoop as well. So the next question is the health factor, weather factor in the UK plus work.
Weather.
I call it summer or zoo. But summer and winter or zoo. So some people think winter is cool in the TV. And the truth. Because when you see Bryan in his hood, pink leaves and everything, you're like, oh, damn, good win. I want to go to UK. Everything is flexing. And nobody sees Bryan when he's there. Go, I beg now. Free me. You get. So let's talk about the weather hustle. The winter, the autumn, and the summer hustle. Let's talk about that. I'll show you in the spotlight now, Karo.
All right. Like I said, when I got here at first, I was working in the warehouse. So they have big doors, like giant doors, like around the factory. So the doors are open the whole night, and this was when when the weather was like -2, -1, 0 degree. So it's like walking outside. You're not walking inside somewhere. You're as good as being outside. So the cold was really terrible. And like you said, people see winter like it's very cool. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. When all your life you've been in a tropical region.
Yeah.
You're now coming to where it's cool, and you're now working under such conditions.
Any one of you worked as a steward? Those people that you work in the stadium. Oh Jesus Christ! I worked during the winter as a steward.
Did that?
2 encounters. One, I did that before. Man, Baba, I suffer. You said they look me. I don't suffer, bro. Yeah, I worked as a steward in the winter, and I remember there was a point in time I couldn't feel my legs, and I couldn't feel the man just. I needed to go to the toilet, and I was trying to know if
you say blood,
or if all hope is lost. I was not even really concerned about the leg. I was now concerned about something else. But God, how far? So the cold is really crazy. Your bones are sore. Your joints are sore. Your hands, you can't press your phone. You can't even receive call outside. You can give excuse. I was outside. And the second one was. During the winter also, I think 2 teams were playing, Celtic and was Rangers.
Celtic Rangers.
And we were giving prompting. I've been doing steward. That was the day I knew steward is not my calling. They were prompting us as if we were going to war. So today we don't want any casualty. You guys have to be watchful. And I was like, wait, casualty? Yes, we don't want to record any casualty. The ambulance is. I was like, how far? Steward. What's my own with? Oh, that day, bro.
What is going on?
The truth is, they were throwing bottles. There were reactions truly because that's the two biggest teams in Scotland, and it's true. It was really dangerous. So I really think the weather. So let's talk about summer hustle and winter hustle. The weather generally.
Well. In what sense of? I mean, if you move here, the first thing you notice is the weather, right? I remember I came here in autumn. It was about 22 degrees.
You complain about this,
right? So I'll tell you what. I wore a jumper, right? I wore a hoodie and I wore a winter jacket, right? with what do you call it, like joggers and shoe. Not winter shoe, but just normal shoe. And I was taking a walk and I saw this Scottish girl who was jogging. She was wearing a bra top and shorts. We were in the same weather. And I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Like, how are you people doing it? It was 22 degrees, raining. So there is that, that's you get once you drop at Heathrow, even the air you breathe is cooler, right? You can even tell. So in terms of working conditions in the winter, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Listen, the money is important, but first of all, if you're waking up, let's say you're doing a warehouse job, right, where you have to be there early or late at night, that's when it's freezing cold. Like, legit, you will not feel your hands, right? Your lips will be so dry. It's like, bro, it'll be freezing cold. So, I mean, it's bearable if you do it for a couple of months, but that's no way to live. Especially if you don't drive. At least if you're driving, it's bearable. You can set your schedule and that kind of thing. But if you're not driving, you're waiting on bus. Sometimes I'll give you one of the instances. Sometimes I tutor, right, like math, physics, and that kind of thing. So I remember one time I went to tutor this kid in secondary school here, and the session was from 8 to 9:30 or something like that. So I had to wait for a bus. Right now, I was waiting for a bus for at least 45 minutes, and then it started raining. And after raining, guess what? It started snowing. So I was in the cold with, I won't say snow. What do they call it? Hailstone. The kind of rain that, like, when it hits you, it's like stone. Bro, I could not feel my hand. Then I didn't even know what winter socks was. Right, so I was wearing regular socks. My feet was literally was like a bar. It was like a bar that you left out in the cold. So I mean, it's one of those is where, bro, if you want to work in winter, be prepared, man.
And don't think winter is not too much TV affects us in Nigeria, because you see people during winter, they run, they are throwing snow to themselves, the keys, and you really think it's all. You try it here, even your love life will freeze. So yeah, to you, Lekan, I really want to put you on the spotlight now. Let's compare the UAE, Dubai, working ethics, the standard you experience, the professionalism, compared to the UK. What would you say in comparison?
There's here, no matter the job you're doing here, everybody's more professional in whatever they do. Even than the UAE. Because in the UAE, I would say they like you to work. Here also you work for every penny you get. But working in the UAE is quite different, because I would like say, it's kind of hard. Let me just say it's harder. It's harder than in the UK. In the UK, you might they might put you in a section that maybe 2 guys will control, but they want life easy for you. They might put like 3-4 people, so that's gonna be more easier. When the UAE, you all know that this job, it's meant for 2 people, and they might only put only 1.
So it's like, is that deliberate, or they are short of staff, or they don't want to, they cut expenses?
What I see there is how am I gonna put it? There's something we call workers to boss relation. Do you understand? So there is a boss will always feel like a boss in the UAE. He doesn't want to communicate with you because you are under him. So no matter what you're going through, no matter the stress you're going through, all they're just concerned is to your job.
They just want the results.
Exactly. But unlike here, everything is just more professional. You might call in sick, that's boss, I'm weak.
But you can't call in sick in UAE.
No, you can never.
You must not be sick.
You must not be sick. If you call in sick, you back it up with the doctor's report, and still yet, if it's not genuine enough, you get your salary deducted.
Wow. Okay. To you, Karo, putting you on the spotlight right now. Let's diverge into mixing business with pleasure. We have some kind of bosses back at home. They will just come into the office, look at Zainab. Zainab is really set and say, Zainab, all those kind of stuff. Or you just feel like, that's my boss, I like him, I will collect a number, all those kind of stuff. Mixing business with pleasure. The Niger environment and the UK.
All right. Back in Nigeria, you obviously get away with a lot of stuff. Like, you can see beautiful Zainab now and tell her she's looking good or she's beautiful, and she'll tell you thank you. She sees it as a compliment. But you do that here, some people will let you get away with it, but some people will think you want to sexualize them and all, and they don't take it lightly. They report you and you're getting suspended, all those kind of stuff. So if I'm advising anybody that's coming here, you have to keep it as professional as possible. Mind your business, get the job done, and go home.
Do you want to say something, Bryan?
Yeah, don't shit where you eat.
Yeah.
Okay. To you, Bryan. This question is for you. Diverging into family matters at work. Some people come because your husband just shouted at you and you cried before coming to work. What happened to you? I'm having family matters. Oh, I just gave birth. Oh, I said yes. Diverging personal things at work. What do you think? Is it cool? Or
Personally,
there's a limit to it.
no, I don't even want to talk about, like, if I'm here to work, I'm here to work. Like, you have to be able to make that dichotomy between work and play. It's important. Now, especially, if you're black, right, there is always that preconception that people have of you. And, like, when you start sharing stuff, is either they start being jealous of you or they start gossiping behind your back. There's a lot of, like, work politics here. You would think that white people are professional, but believe me, they know themselves. And when you try to, like, associate with them as, oh, my brother, my sister, it doesn't work here. Like, that whole... Now my brother MB or now my guy, we supposed to, bro, just forget about it. Like, especially if they are white. Now if it's a Nigerian you meet here, sometimes you can build that rapport. But please, where you're working, bro, good morning, good afternoon, how's your day? Good weather, nice weather, finish, go and do your job, go home. Now if you want to play, go to another scenery, go to parties, whatever.
Go to the pub.
And then make friends, and then that the setting is...
a woman told me recently, because I started observing at work that that woman that always take me home. I started observing at work that I don't talk. I dissociate myself a bit. So in my mind, I was feeling, will these people not think I'm proud? Because I really can switch. That's me. The laughing me right now, you can see me in a second. I'm moody. I'm giving you a very straight face, and that's it. So I've been giving these people straight face too much, and it's like I don't body check them too much. Now for a guy, calm down. So I now told the woman. The woman said, no, I don't feel bothered. If you want to talk to me at work, it's fine. I didn't come to work to make friends, and that's the punchline. I didn't come to work to make friends. I took that word. I was like, wow, if this is coming from a Scottish woman, then I really think this is a very deep thing I could drop to my people. You don't go to work with the intention to make friends. Friends can come.
True.
That is by the way. But first is first, and that's work. And I think that settles it. And to you, Lekan, let's talk about insubordination. There is this mentality back in Nigeria, because you are older than Zainab. But Zainab is, according to the ladder of professionalism or hierarchy at the place of work, she's your boss. And Zainab tells you, so Lekan, go and, like someone that's like my younger sister, telling me to go and, I won't do it. And we have a lot of younger people right now, because it's still that mentality of Bryan, I am this in Nigeria, and there's this young girl telling you, so Bryan, please, can you go? I'm like, or she didn't put please, Bryan, go. I'm like, me, go.
About that, one thing I just noticed about everything here is no matter what, whoever is boss, even if you're older than the boss is like 20 years old. I've had a scenario like the boss I was working with was maybe only 20 years old, and she has a lot of older Scottish women, and this girl was just was a black girl. And if you see the respect they accord to this girl, I was like, wow. So it's just an emotional thing. They respect you at work. They might get outside and not talk to you, but once you're at work, they hit they're there, like you said, they're there to work. They're there not to make friends.
Okay,
so
Karo,
they give you the respect.
Quickly, will you say something about this age sentiments?
When I got here, I got to understand that age is a number, because you meet a 65-year-old woman telling you her name is Jane. The Nigerian in you will not let you call her Jane.
You will be using ma.
You'll be scared of even saying the word Jane.
There was even one I said, thank you, ma. She was like, ma, give me a break. Break
so
bow.
You cannot look at it from the Nigerian eye. When you come here, if your boss is 15 years younger than you and she or he tells you do this, you have to get it done, or you should go get another job.
Yeah, cool.
Another thing I experience about we blacks, or let me just say we blacks and Nigerians, we have a lot of pride, we have a lot of ego in us.
I think it's a cultural thing. Will you agree with me, Bryan? It's because your younger one is calling you brother Bryan, brother Bryan, and everybody in the area, brother Bryan. I'm they call me brother Dimeji, Auntie Zainab. So we have this mentality of people are older than most. Accord that respect. So you come here, you are working, you don't expect Zainab to tell me, go like, I have like you at home now, you know.
That's the sentence. I have your type at home.
If you also look at the way they talk to their woman here, it's quite different from the way we
shed light more on that, please.
Do you understand? Because in everything they do here, they want to talk to a woman, either a young small girl or a woman. There's always a lot of respect, like please.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
do that.
I'm sorry, everything that has a beginning has to come to an end. I'm sorry, I know we can go on and on this topic. We have a lot to say, but for you just joining us, I could see some of you are just commenting. No, we are calling it a day already. It's been your preferred program, 3,000 miles, and thank you for the journey so far, for making it down here live. I thank you all my guests, Karo, Lekan, Bryan, and to Zainab that has been producing us, even off